okay?
What?
The 80s called. They want their store back.
It's time for a new Radio Shack. Come see what's possible when we do things together.
The year is 2014. Chris Pratt shows the world he is a box office hit with the release of both Guardians of the Galaxy and the Lego Movie.
That's $37.
Awesome!
The PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Wii U era of gaming is just getting started, with hits like Shadow of Mordor, South Park, The Stick of Truth, and the underrated Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. And the first Simpsons episode of the year is Season 25, Episode 10, Married to the Blob.
Tell it to Harlan Ellison.
I think you overprivileged kids with your electronic tablets and your talking phones wouldn't know a good piece of fiction if your iPod read it to your ass.
I wish someone would have come from the future and warned me not to talk to you.
That's my idea. You're stealing my idea.
Sorry.
As we move closer to the modern day in the history of Cartoon Network, the network would still try to find a proper identity, and attempt to juggle rating success and creativity with shows. This would prove to be almost impossible at times. Many decisions seem frustratingly short-sighted. In hindsight, we would still be given many gems to keep various fandoms growing to this day.
More Mixels are heading your way.
Yes! Yes!
Mix it up with a brand new cast of characters.
To mix or not to mix? That is the question.
Meet more Mixels at Mixels.com.
It's the bomb.
Cartoon Network would start the year of 2014 a little slow with the release of the Lego toy tie-in show, Mixels. While Cartoon Network would air other Lego-related shows, like the long-running Ninjago and short-lived and forgotten Chimera, Mixels was a show actually co-produced by Cartoon Network themselves, out of their own studio. Essentially just an advertisement for the now defunct toy line. These would be different shorts showing the different shenanigans of different Mixels characters. But later, we would get the first real original show of the year. Clarence is the story of the titular character, Clarence, a naive and optimistic boy who tries to see fun in all situations and make friends with anyone he sees.
Party hat, party hat, party hat. No more party hats. Party pat, party pat, party pat.
While he does have many friends despite his odd behavior, his core friend group consists of Jeff, an intelligent but neurotic clean freak,
There,
The battle mat is all set. Now flip the battle summoner. I call heads. Oh, yes! Let's see here. I summon my main.
And Sumo, the sort of polar opposite to him in every way.
But Daddy, I don't want to stay on the farm. I want to go to the city.
You best know your place, little lady.
While the show was popular enough to get 4 seasons, it ran into controversy when the creator and original voice for Clarence, Skylar Page, was fired from the show after accusations of sexual harassment came out against him. He was later replaced by Spencer Rothbell, and the show was able to thrive, to the point where the episodes of the show are still in rotation on the schedule as of the time of this writing.
Oh no! A bear! Oh no! A bear!
Along with this new series, we'd get a rather unique mini-series for Cartoon Network.
If I told you there was a story...
Where are we?
From a forgotten place.
See anybody?
I see you.
Filled with shadows.
Something weird is going on.
And the unknown.
Yeah.
Where solving the puzzle only leads to dangers and greater discoveries. Would you be willing to take a peek? Over the Garden Wall. A 5-night mystery adventure. Beginning Monday, November 3rd at 7/6 Central. Only from Cartoon Network.
Over the Garden Wall was a series created by Patrick McCall, who had previously worked as a writer on Flapjack and Adventure Time, and would later go on to co-write the screenplay for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, a simple story of 2 brothers who travel through a mysterious forest on their way home, along the way encountering many strange and even magical oddities. Apart from the darker atmosphere of the show, it would also include a star-studded cast, including Lord of the Rings alum Elijah Wood, as well as Christopher Lloyd, Tim Curry, John Cleese, among others.
Well, it's been a minute since we changed up the look.
I know, it's very refreshing.
What else do you think we could change around here?
I've got lots of ideas when you have some time.
Yeah, that would be really great. New thrusters.
Thanks for listening.
Back on the still freshly revived Tsunami, they were rocketing into the new era as part of Tsunami by introducing a slew of new shows to the lineup. Premiering on the same day on January 4th was Naruto Shippuden, a sequel series to the previous Tsunami aired program Naruto. This series previously aired on Disney XD a few years earlier, but with many changes made to it to make it more appropriate for an earlier time slot. However, no such changes needed to be made on the now late-night Tsunami block. The other show to premiere on that day would be a rather unique situation, and would show just what a big deal it was that Tsunami was back.
From the creators of Soul Eater, Full Metal Alchemist, and Cowboy Bebop, Tsunami is proud to present the world premiere of Space Dandy. Coming this January, only Tsunami on Adult Swim.
Space Dandy was the story of a dandy man in space who travels the galaxy as an alien bounty hunter, along with his robot assistant QT and his alien pal Meow. The series was created by Shinichiro Watanabe, also known for creating previous Tsunami and Adult Swim hits like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, as well as directed by Shingo Natsume, best known for his work on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. What made this airing so unique is that this show would premiere on Tsunami before it would air on Japanese television by a day. As well, we would see premieres of Blue Exorcist,
And the only thing that stands in their way are the Exorcists. It's gonna be a hell of a ride.
The Lord is my helper. Thou shalt perish!
Coming this March to Tsunami.
Both seasons of Black Lagoon.
Wake up, sailor! We have a job!
Now, the pirate life beckons, and the ocean is his for the taking. If he can keep his new co-workers from getting him killed. Because Rock is about to learn that life on the Black Lagoon,
What now?
can be one hell of a ride.
We kill them all!
Hellsing Ultimate.
We are the monsters that protect England from the other monsters.
You're agents of vampire?
He is nothing like any vampire you've ever known.
They tell stories of your amazing strength.
He is truly inhuman, this one. This stranger from the night.
Gurren Lagann.
Look, you think it's some kind of wonderland up here.
Let's go!
But it isn't.
When facing impossible odds.
There are more of these things?
The place is crawling with them!
In an unknown world.
Human scum!
There's only one thing to do.
Are you guys ready?
Fight.
I can't do this!
Kick logic out and do the impossible!
Inuyasha, the final act.
But there is no peace for Kagome and Inuyasha.
Inuyasha!
Kagome!
Can they escape the clutches of the Shikon Jewel? Or will they be locked out of time forever?
From the beginning, this has been Kagome's fate.
No way I'm gonna let that happen!
And the recent viral hit, Attack on Titan.
We knew home was a pen. Humanity, cattle.
In another reacquisition, the block would also start airing DBZ Kai, a re-edited version of the original Dragon Ball Z series. That since, at the time of its original release, Cartoon Network had nowhere to air it. It originally premiered in America on Nickelodeon, but in an even more edited form. But with this, Toonami's most recognized show would make its return to the block and channel.
I gave you one last chance to walk away and you blew it!
Watch Dragon Ball Z the way it was meant to be seen.
Yeah, I'm in.
Right here with us. Uncut.
Please spare me! I beg!
Die.
Kaioken, time for!
Tsunami is proud to present Dragon Ball Z Kai. Starting next Saturday at midnight.
Rather impressive, isn't it?
Never felt a power like this before.
Only Tsunami on Adult Swim.
This ends now!
On the actual Adult Swim block, we would see the first show from creator and artist J.J. Villard to premiere for Adult Swim. King Star King, co-developed by Metalocalypse co-creator Tommy Blancha, who also voices the titular King.
I'll take one small diarrhea because it tastes better than your waffles.
You may slag pitiful Hank Waffles, but never criticize King Star King's waffle batter!
The series would be an early version of Villard's other works, as a twisted fairy tale that sees the king marrying Snow White and becoming stuck serving in a Waffle House. The series aired on Adult Swim's website before making its way to TV, and while short-lived, it would live on past the original run with a Christmas special airing in 2023.
With unbelievable power!
Yeah, you have the kidney!
And middle age.
God, you're so fat! We should call you King Size King!
Another odd concept that ran longer than many figured it would was the somewhat Scooby-Doo parody, Mike Tyson Mysteries. Starring Mike Tyson himself, voicing himself, we would see Mike Tyson traveling around in his retirement as a boxer to solve mysteries, with his adopted daughter, a ghost, and a pigeon, voiced by the late comedian Norm Macdonald.
What about you? You were turned into a pigeon by a witch.
Well, slow down there. Sandra said she was gonna
turn me into a pigeon if I cheated on her one more time. I, of course, immediately cheated on her. But then, you know what? I think I would have just transformed into a pigeon on my own. Like, I think it would, you know, what's going to happen is going to happen. Nope, there's no magic in this world, my friend.
While the series would parody mystery cartoons like Scooby-Doo and Jabberjaw, the main inspiration was probably I Am the Greatest, a short-lived mystery-solving show starring Muhammad Ali, who, like Mike Tyson, was voiced by Muhammad himself. As we move to 2015 on Cartoon Network, we would only see one fully original non-WB cartoon air on the network. That being the comfy slice-of-life comedy We Bare Bears. Created by Daniel Chung, who had experience working as a storyboard artist for some of the biggest animation studios, including Disney and Blue Sky, and even won an Emmy for his work on the Toy Story TV specials, Toy Story of Terror, and The Toy That Time Forgot. Coming over to Cartoon Network, he would create a show that was inspired by a previous webcomic that he'd created in 2010 called The Three Bear Bears. While the webcomic ended, he would continue the idea of the three Bear brothers over to a full series. The story of the series was about three brothers, Grizz, Panda, and Ice Bear, living on the outskirts of San Francisco and trying to acclimate to human society. Along the way, they come across different friends like Chloe Park, played by Steven Universe actor, Charlene Yee, Ranger Tabs, and a Bigfoot named Charlie, played by Jason Lee.
Hey guys, cave share? Is this the right place? Nice sturdy woodwork you got here.
Thanks, man. My name's...
You must be Grizzly. Charlie, it's a pleasure. It really is. Golly, would you just look at this place?
The series would run for a respectable 4-season run, before ending in a finale movie in 2020. The story would end with the three brothers fighting to not only stay together, but stay in their adopted home. But while the series ended, it wouldn't be the last time that we would see the brothers.
Hello, officer. We're humans.
Trick I use to tell the difference is noting the lack of fur and cute little ears.
WB would continue their co-productions in this year, with 2 new iterations on old classics. The first being Wabbit, also known as New Looney Tunes, after the first season. The series of shorts would tell new stories, primarily starring Bugs Bunny, and a new pseudo-sidekick named Squeak Squirrel. With some retooling, it would expand to the larger canon of characters, thus the name change to the New Looney Tunes.
We're getting creamed out here, Squeaks. You're right, Squeaks. It's time we shed these winter coats and get serious. It looks like summer just got a lot hotter.
The production was somewhat troubled as the series would premiere on Cartoon Network, but soon be moved to sister network Boomerang, which is not carried in all the same markets as Cartoon Network. In fact, new episodes would soon debut on the Boomerang app before they would make their way to TV. The show would be cancelled after 3 seasons, and the format would go back to more traditional Looney Tunes shorts format on a series later on HBO Max. The next revival would be a sort of unappreciated gem in the wider canon of Scooby-Doo media, Be Cool Scooby-Doo.
Good luck with that.
There's Scooby-Doo! Trust me, he'll be there.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
And he'll play it cool. Real cool.
Going back to a slightly more traditional format of Scooby-Doo compared to Mystery Incorporated, Be Cool would see the gang traveling around to different locations and engaging in more classic mysteries and unmasking monsters. It would still have some ongoing elements and changes to it, including an overarching story involving Fred's father, and a running joke with Daphne having a new wacky gimmick in every episode.
Look! My puppet of me's puppet of of me has a puppet of me, and so on.
Well, it's that time of year again. Happy Valentine's Day from Tsunami.
Remember to thank that very special someone.
Who's got your back when the chips are down.
Because love is a many splintered thing.
Yeah, did you say splintered?
Yeah, Tom, what did you think we were talking about? Cue the beatings.
So you finally showed your true colors.
Now it's gotten interesting.
Stop your whining!
Just get out of the way!
You're so dead! When I'm done with you, boy, you're gonna have nightmares for a month!
Give it your best shot.
Love is in the air, and pain is on the menu.
Make a move. When you're ready to die.
A right uppercut to finish you off!
2015 would be another push forward in the lore of Tsunami. It would feature the first tie-in event of the block since it came back, that being named Intruder 2, a sequel to the first Tsunami tie-in event that saw the return of the titular Intruder, who had taken possession of Tom 1's body, and is even voiced by the original Tom voice actor, Sonny Strait.
You'll have to do better than that, Tom.
Oh man, I make a really crappy bad guy.
The event would see Tom lose his arm and destroying his ship in order to kill the intruder. For good, he would escape the explosion via a pod and land in a deserted facility on a desert planet. There, he and Sarah would set up shop for a new era of Tsunami, with brand new shows such as Kill la Kill,
Let's do this, Sandkits!
which had to be edited a bit for TV due to its raunchy nature, even for its late time slot. We would also see the sequel to Sword Art Online, as well as Machiko and Hachen, Parasite, and Akame ga Kill. "2015 would be a light year for Adult Swim, premiering only 2 live-action shows, the first being the short-lived and forgotten Jack and Triumph show, starring Jack McBrayer as Jack and Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. The series was a basic sitcom of a former child star trying to get back in the industry. While 20 episodes were originally ordered, only 7 would end up airing before the series was quietly cancelled. The second show of the year was another show in the trend of Adult Swim at this time to give shows to comedians who had worked for the network before. This was another show created and starring John Glasser, who had previously worked with Adult Swim on Delocated, Stroker and Hoop, and other projects.
My name is Neon Joe, werewolf hunter.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Neon Joe Werewolf Hunter would run for 2 seasons, with each season only being 5 episodes, and would also be short-lived.
I'll guarantee.
Don't shoot! I know what I'm being flirted with in a suicide note. That's how you kill a werewolf! You take on Joe, you gonna lose!
I'm so excited.
Bark, bark, yum, yum.
A human medical facility is no place to decide the fate of a wolf, baby.
No last name Willis?
No, why?
Because right about now I feel like saying, what you talking about, Bruce?
"2016 would start off a little shaky for Cartoon Network. Apart from Mighty Magiswords, a shortish series that started as digital shorts on the Cartoon Network app, Cartoon Network would premiere only one other original cartoon that year, and it was what many saw as a desperate attempt to capitalize on a long-neglected property. Announced back in 2014, Powerpuff Girls would be a reboot of one of Cartoon Network's most popular and profitable franchises. Being aware of this, a huge campaign would be initiated to get the public hyped for the return of the show, including a toy line released before the first episode even aired. Despite the clear push to have this show be a success, the show would have no involvement with the original series creator, Craig McCracken. It would also recast the Powerpuff Girls themselves with younger, unknown voice actors.
We're gonna be late for school! I am Amanda Layton, and I play the character of Blossom on the new Powerpuff Girls.
Kristen Lee, and I play Bubbles.
Okay, Professor!
I'm Natalie Palomides, and I play Buttercup.
As well as recasting Princess Morbucks, although strangely, the iconic male roles such as the Professor, the Mayor, and Mojo Jojo would keep their original voices. Speaking of changes, the show would run into controversy early on when it was revealed that the assistant to the Mayor, Miss Bellum, would not be a part of the new show in any form, being written off as taking a long-needed vacation. It was rumored that she was written off due to her perceived inappropriate appearance. However, new and old fans alike railed against the decision, seeing Miss Bellum as a key part of the original show. The theories of removing her due to her appearance do have some merit, as another character change would come in the form of kindergarten teacher Miss Keene having no visible breasts in her design, although this would seem to be changed later on, possibly due to realizing how stupid that change really was. Speaking of, another big change in the series would be the inclusion of a fourth Powerpuff Girl.
She's coming this Sunday to save the day. Whoa. There's a new girl in Townsville. She's fierce.
She's a hero!
She's fantastic. She's family.
No powers at the table, please.
She's the fourth Powerpuff Girl. And you can only see her in the Powerpuff Girls Power of 4, a special movie event Sunday at 5:30 on your Cartoon Network.
Named Bliss, it would be revealed that she was an older sister of the girls, being created around 10 years previous to the original trio. It was also revealed that Professor Utonium only intended to create the girls to compete with a rival of his. Bliss would not be able to control her powers due to her emotional outbursts, so she would exile herself on an island before saving the girls from a threat. Despite her hyped-up introduction, she would only make 3 other appearances outside of her 5-part miniseries debut, ultimately being written off due to some mission or other in space. Despite its various controversies and mixed reviews, it would last a few years before being cancelled. As of the time of this writing, another reboot has been announced, this time with the involvement of Craig McCracken and previous series writer Lauren Faust, but very little has been announced about this show as of now. WB would also release 2 new shows this year, the first in the form of Bunnicula. Starting as a series of children's books about a vampire bunny who drinks carrot juice rather than blood, this series would get other cartoon adaptations throughout the year. This new adaptation would premiere on both Cartoon Network and Boomerang on the same day, and while it would be picked up for a second and third season, it would be aired exclusively on Boomerang from then on out. The biggest WB show that year, and one I feel went under the radar a bit, was Justice League Action.
Go, Superman!
These men are your friends? More like sidekicks, Mother.
Superman? Wonder Woman? Batman? Am I in trouble? I can fix that. Yeah, I'm just gonna need some duct tape. Or I'll need like a lot of duct tape.
Miss me?
A new yet classic take on the Justice League format. This show focused less on long-running story arcs, and focused more on one-off stories involving a diverse roster of heroes. The show would be a sort of time capsule of DC continuity at the time, as it saw Superman and Wonder Woman dating, which was the pairing at the time in the comics and in a few animated movies. However, the show was criminally underwatched, and only lasted one season and a few shorts.
Tom?
Yo, what's up?
We have an incoming transmission from, Moltar?
Moltar? Wow, haven't heard from him in a dog's age. What's going on with him?
Well, it's very garbled. I can't seem to decipher all of it.
Alright, listen up. Tsunami.
Dang.
But, here's what I got. Hey, Tom, I've been called back to Moltar and I won't be coming back. There's a mighty oven waiting for me. Just wanted you to know, I always thought I was a better Tsunami host than you. Good luck never being able to fill my boots, sucker.
Oh man, he always did know how to push my buttons.
End message.
Well, fare thee well, buddy. May your oven stay forever lit.
Tsunami would continue in 2016 with its Desert Station era with a new list of great shows, including previous Adult Swim show Samurai Champloo, which made the move to Tsunami. Dimension W, the cult classic Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter's a dangerous job. You could die at any time for any number of ridiculous reasons.
You know it's a suicide mission, right?
Death is not among my fears.
Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Now's our chance. Come on.
I'm becoming a hunter no matter what!
Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans, which would be the very first Gundam show to premiere on Tsunami since 2004.
We're not gonna die! Not like this!
Their only hope for independence is a medically enhanced child soldier and a legendary mobile suit called Gundam.
Let's go, Barbatos.
Mika! I don't know where you got that thing, but do you really believe that you can take down the graves of Gjallarhorn with an old mobile suit like that?
That's right.
As well as One Punch Man.
A giant creature of unknown origin has appeared in City D.
And the situation seems to be spiraling out of control.
Please evacuate immediately.
Guess I'll go.
Who are you?
Just a guy who's a hero for fun.
We would also see the airing of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which would continue to air subsequent seasons until the 6th season, Stone Ocean, would be moved exclusively to Netflix.
I'm going to let you kill anyone else! Your fight is with me! Prepare for the carnage!
Courage is to look your fear in the eye and know that it has no dominion over you. Bare your soul. Hold nothing back lest you not survive beyond this moment.
You! I'm not done with you!
We would also see another new tie-in event this year, this time titled Intruder 3. Unlike the first events, this had nothing to do with the previous Intruder. Rather, the team would discover their new base they were occupying was actually a spaceship, which they had to use to escape the planet, which was on the verge of destruction. They would do so with the help of a species of sandworms they discovered on the planet. This event would take the crew back to space, as well as giving Sarah a new body that involved her being more mobile. Adult Swim proper would see a few shows in 2016. Brad Neely would get another outing with Brad Neely's Hargnalen Skoliopipio, which was a sort of sketch comedy show of Brad Neely ideas.
Hargnolan Sclopio PPO. Premieres Sunday, July 10th at 11:45 on Adult Swim. Because TV sucks.
On the live-action side, we would also see the extremely short-lived premiere of $1 Million Extreme Presents World Peace. Co-created by controversial figure Sam Hyde, World Peace would be a subversive sketch/prank show, which would run into some controversy when a BuzzFeed article accused the show of being an instrument of hate. While the show was picked up for a second season by Adult Swim, it would be ultimately cancelled by Turner in order to avoid further issues. For a more detailed overview of the situation, I would recommend watching YouTuber Porcelain's video on the topic. The last show of the year would be Dream Core LLC, an absurdist workplace comedy set in a dream therapy facility. The show would survive in some form or another until at least 2020.
Right on time.
My hand. It's alive. Here it comes.
In 2017, Cartoon Network was starting to enter the era that would become a problem for the network. Until very recently, the normal schedule would start to be overwhelmed with constant reruns and marathons of Teen Titans Go. The channel would quickly be less about showing cartoons and more about showing Teen Titans Go because it was easier. This would mean less to, if no, play of legacy content of any kind, even stopping traditional marathons and showings. This example would make the rounds on the internet, at the time showing the Christmas week schedule being taken up entirely by Teen Titans Go showings, rather than marathons of classic Christmas cartoons or even traditional Christmas movies like Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer and Olive the Other Reindeer. Despite the major issue, we would still see some new shows break through the endless repetition of Go. The first would be a reboot of the Ben 10 franchise, which brought the show back to its roots, with Ben reverting back to his kid self. The previous continuity would be wiped, and the show would get more of a cartoony art style. Along with this would be the rather ambitious series with a relatively new voice in the industry. Ian Jones-Quartey started as a webcomic artist for RPG World, which won a few awards during its time, as well as being one half of the comedy rap duo under the stage name Fnaka. His first job in the industry would be on Venture Brothers, before working on Adventure Time, Super Mountain Fortress Awesome, and co-developing Steven Universe with Rebecca Sugar. In 2013, Ian would develop a pilot called Lakewood Plaza Turbo, which at first would be developed into a free-to-play game for the Cartoon Network game app, but soon it would gain enough support to graduate to a full series. OK KO Let's Be Heroes is the story of KO, a young boy who wants to be a hero. He works to achieve this goal at Lakewood Plaza Turbo, a strip mall area specializing in hero goods and services run by heroes. Specifically in Gar's Bodega, with co-workers Enid and Radicles.
Hold on, duty calls. Did you find everything you needed? Great, that'll be $8.99. Thanks for shopping at Cars Buy. Okay, now, as I was saying...
Periodically, the plaza is attacked by the evil Lord Boxmore and his robot children, which KO, Enid, and Radicles must defeat every time. The show itself would take a lot of inspiration from Saturday morning cartoons and anime, and a wide variety of memorable characters, including Red Action, KO's mom Carol, and of course fan favorite, Dendy.
We got problems!
I understand your predicament. Mr. Gar here is overcompensating for his receding hairline with muscles.
Hey!
Rad is pretending to be super macho, even though he's a big softie.
That's not true!
We have a cleaning apparatus with a tacky design. Or perhaps, is it how Enid acts super cool because she's internally struggling with her identity?
Absolutely not!
The show was able to last a respectable 3-season run. However, it was plagued by many of the same production and scheduling issues like many shows at the time, not being given a consistent time slot and premiere time frame, and ultimately having to cut the final season that resulted in a super rushed season finale. Despite its rocky run, it's still a fan favorite of the channel, even getting its own video game.
I'm in a video game?
Yeah, I'm in it too, and so is Rad.
I am?
It's got sweet fighting and big bosses. And POW cards. And your mom's in it.
She is? I am?
WB would make one more contribution to the lineup this year, that being the Lego Movie spin-off, Unikitty. Based on the character of the same name from said movie, Unikitty would be an animated series outside the continuity of the Lego Movie, following the adventures of Unikitty and her new friends in her own world. "2017 would be another good year for Tsunami, introducing a great slew of new shows, including the sequel series to the highly popular Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super.
Majin Buu was ridiculously strong, and you never know. One day, someone even stronger could show up. So I've got to keep training to keep you guys safe.
Another planet has been decimated. Just what could be happening out there? This is bad!
In the same vein, we would also see Dragon Ball Kai: The Final Chapters, which would be a more streamlined version of the original Dragon Ball Z show taking place after the Cell Games saga.
Others? A nightmare!
Who is this freak?
I am he who loves justice above all else! He's done it again! I am Great Saiyaman!
What's the story behind that outlandish costume?
What?
Along with this, we would see the premiere of Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn.
Can't be explained away easily.
Target has been acquired.
Since its victory in the 1-year war, the Federation has lived in fear of this unseen power.
I remember this. I've seen this before.
The power that screams j'accuse at the privileged class that lives on Earth.
Help me! I'm afraid something terrible will happen.
The power that calls all the abandoned space noids to awaken.
For the first time in my life, I knew what I was supposed to do.
The unidentified single-horn suit transformed or morphed! It's a Gundam!
Tokyo Ghoul, and its sequel,
I want to eat that.
But I know I can't! What's happening to me? Humans aren't your friends. They're nothing but food to eat. I can't be a ghoul! Not if this is what it's like!
This is ridiculous. A half-breed like you isn't gonna last 5 seconds out here.
Lupin the Third Part 4, and Black Clover. Along with the new shows, we would get another tie-in event, this time called Countdown. Countdown would see time travel shenanigans as a Tom from the future switches places with the current Tom to stop Sarah before she's infected by a malicious virus that wants to use her to destroy all life. Luckily, the day is saved when our Tom ends up in future Tom's body, making him look a little bit more worn down, at least for now.
Always be my best friend, Sarah. No matter what happens, we'll have each other till our final days. If you think that's funny, you might already be under the influence of an alien intelligence.
"2017 on Adult Swim was pretty special. Not only did we get the return of Tyler the Creator in the form of animated comedy Jellies.
Come on, can you get it together?
What? Who you think you talking to? Oh, puppet. You gon' watch your tone when you talking to me.
Cornell, calm down!
Lady, I am calm.
Someone
I ain't trying to get canceled after a couple seasons like every other black show on here. I mean, we're Boondocks, huh? Black Dynamite, Loiter Squad. Where they at? Huh? Say it.
As well as the short-lived Apollo Gauntlet, we would see the return of the long-departed fan favorite that many had given up on seeing again. Samurai Jack had no real ending during its original run. Series creator Genndy Tartakovsky spoke about the difficulty of planning an ending, what with the ever-changing landscape of Cartoon Network at the time. There were attempts to give the series a continuation and ending. There was a short-lived comic series that really didn't have any kind of ending. And there was an animated feature that never seemed to get off the ground. But soon, Adult Swim gave Genndy the platform he needed to finally give the story the ending the fans had been waiting for. Season 5 would take place 50 years after the events of the original series. Jack is still trapped and finds that he's not aging at all through his mission. Along with this, and the constant struggle of survival, he has found himself losing faith in his ability to complete this mission and defeat Aku. And with the loss of his sword, he's going a bit crazy. The show would still have the same vibe and art style as the original. However, because it was now on Adult Swim, it was allowed to be a bit more violent. While this revival would only last one season, it would finally give fans the ending that they were waiting for so long.
Samurai Jack, an all-new limited series, premiering Saturday, March 11th at 11 p.m.
', 2018 was starting to see more adjustments for Cartoon Network. While Teen Titans Go was still a prominent and consistent part of the schedule, with the build-up to Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which was releasing this year, we would start to see a little more variety in the programming, but of course, not as much as the early years. But helping with the variety were new shows from new creators, starting with Apple and Onion.
Apple and onion, today's another day. Apple, onion, we do things our own way. Apple and onion, having lots of fun. Apple and onion, welcome.
Created by George Genndy, the story was originally pitched while working on Gumball, and a pilot was produced in 2016, before getting a full series in 2018. The show follows the slice-of-life adventures of an anthropomorphic apple and onion, the apple being played by George himself, and the spring onion, voiced by British comedian Richard Ayoade. The show would focus a lot on absurdist humor and would frequently have the titular apple and onion breaking out into song. The show was fairly successful, even being picked up for a second season, and is still being shown in reruns on the channel to this day. Another more successful show that is still getting plenty of play on the network today is the hit called Craig of the Creek.
Who's gonna help when the ginger overwhelms and the mysteries are piled high? Who's gonna be around, never gonna let you down when you run a wild ride? Your friends are always by your side. It's Craig of the Creek, he's gonna sing the day. It's Craig of the Creek, he's gonna sing the day. It's Craig of the Creek.
Created by Matt Burnett and Ben Levin, who were both writers on Steven Universe before quitting to work on their new show, Craig of the Creek follows the adventures of Craig, Kelsey, and JP, 3 friends who spend their time together exploring and having adventures in a nearby creek. They would meet and interact with many other residents and factions of the creek and the surrounding area. While the series would mostly focus on one-off self-contained episodes, each season would have one overlapping mystery or story behind it. Currently on its 5th season, the show was a major hit for the network, even spawning a prequel spin-off series focusing on Craig's little sister Jessica, and an upcoming prequel movie called Craig Before the Creek. A little later in the year, we would see another creative show plagued by issues with scheduling and frequent breaks, that being Summer Camp Island.
Magic is real here, far away from home. Anything can happen when witches make the rules. Monsters are cool, the moon is our friend. I wanna stay with you on Summer Camp Island.
Created by Julia Pott, an animator and voice actor who gained recognition with her animation on YouTube, Summer Camp Island would follow childhood friends Oscar and Hedgehog, who attend a magical summer camp and experience all the different issues and joys that entails.
Alright, brand new camper babies! If you thought you were going to a normal summer camp with canoeing and potholder making, you were sorely mistaken. This is a magical camp, and you can do whatever you want here. Don't come crying to me with your dumb baby problems, because I am not your mum. I'm the prettiest girl that ever talked to you.
Susie, this speech gets scarier every year.
While a successful series in many regards, running for 6 seasons, the show would be moved to premiering on the HBO Max streaming service after the first season, but would return to the network for its 6th and final season.
Because this is a nice regular camp with absolutely no magic!
Sorry, I can only wink out of this eye.
Summer Camp Island, coming soon to your Cartoon Network!
Every Saturday night at 10:30, Adult Swim is building you a better cartoon show. We call it Tsunami.
We won't be intimidated by criminal threats.
Something's headed right for us.
Warning, the enemy is closing in.
I journeyed here in order to take your lives.
Don't move, damn it.
Those awful monsters! They must have been the ones that stole your children from you!
It's time for you to
die!
No more hesitation, no more holding back, and no more mercy.
Shut up! Your voice annoys me.
Payback time, pal.
You're mine!
What the hell is that lunatic thinking?
Hey, over here!
All soldiers, charge!
You son of a bitch! My magic is never giving up! Smack him down!
Take this!
Tsunami. Every Saturday night from 10:30 to 4 on Adult Swim.
Adventure is waiting for you.
Tsunami would have another great year in 2018, with a great new lineup of shows. This would start off with the network premiere of the hugely popular shonen series My Hero Academia.
I can't believe it! The guy's already saved 100 people at least. Look, he's got more!
Fear not, citizens, because I am here.
It was an age of heroes.
Want to be a hero too, huh?
Based on the manga written and illustrated by mangaka Kohei Horikoshi, My Hero Academia is set in a world where most residents are born with some kind of superpower, or quirk. Izuku Midoriya, however, despite his dream of being the #1 hero like his idol All Might, was born with no quirk. But after a chance encounter with All Might after a villain attack, he learns the secret behind All Might's power, and is able to inherit the quirk One for All from him. This allows Midoriya to enroll in UA High, a school to help develop young men and women into the new generation of heroes. There he meets a wide variety of peers, teachers, and encounters the League of Villains. Still ongoing, My Hero has spawned numerous seasons, spin-off manga and light novels, several movies, and even the rumor of a live-action adaptation in the West, although thankfully, nothing has come of it yet. Although with this, we would also see the premiere of 2 new sequel series of one of Adult Swim's most popular anime series.
There's nothing I want to be. There's nothing I want to do.
All that exists is zero. Would it kill you to have even the tiniest reaction?
Morning! Good morning, Hidami.
When you hit pause on the world like that, your body will slowly start to rot away.
I suppose I'll just have to bust on in.
Fooly Cooley Progressive and Fooly Cooley Alternative were both co-produced by William Street and Production IG. While sequels, they would not necessarily continue the story of the original series, but it would include fan favorite Haruko.
This girl packs a punch like a shooting star.
The world must be destroyed before it can become beautiful.
Guess that's what they call adolescence.
Speaking of sequel series, the next chapter in the JoJo saga, Diamond is Unbreakable, would also premiere, along with the Naruto continuation, Boruto.
You think you're special? Go hide in your father's shadow. I don't want to be your little friend, Hokage's boy.
You cause trouble nearly every single time.
What's your deal?
Is this supposed to be another one of your pranks? You can see it too, huh, Boruto?
Oh no, is it happening again?
You really shouldn't overdo it.
The absurd comedy Pop Team Epic would also air, along with Mob Psycho 100 and the sleeper hit Megalobox.
Boxing fuses athleticism with innovative new technology to create the future of boxing.
What in the hell are you wearing? That's some busted-ass gear, little doggy.
You remember the plan, right? Toward the end of the third round, you're gonna take the fall. I'm sick and tired of throwing these damn fights.
If the kid wasn't wasting away in this hole, he might have had a shot at the big time.
What the hell am I doing?
Due to some great timing, Tsunami would get on the April Fool's game this year, breaking tradition and airing episodes and premieres of new shows with Japanese audio and English subs.
再びようこそ。引き続きフリクリをお楽しみください。
次はマインドゲームです。津波でお届けしています。
Adult Swim would have another productive year, starting with the paranormal investigation parody series Hot Streets.
That's dangerous!
It's more than dangerous, it's idiotic.
Okay, I'm a bunny rabbit now. From creator Brian Weissel, partially starring Justin Roiland as Chubby Webbers.
Oh, Peony Swayze!
Hot Streets, premiering January 14th at midnight on Adult Swim.
Along with Ballmasters, an anime parody from the creator of Super Jail.
We were sure there were no more wars, especially those suck-ass rad wars.
They weren't rad, they were bad.
Thanks to the game, we can all live forever in peace, unless you're one of those poor suckers who die in the arena.
I'm gonna knock that ball in the dirt.
But even they'll be okay in the end, especially those ultimate losers, the Leptons.
If you put as much effort into practicing as you do goofing off, we might actually have a chance out there.
Not even a great player like Gaz Diggsy could teach them the meaning of teamwork and save the universe, and learn all sorts of lessons along the way.
Ow! They don't look so tough.
Are you kidding me? They look incredibly tough, and we haven't slept in like 72 hours.
You ding-dongs are hopeless. I'm hitting the ball. Straight from the balls of Christy Caracas comes
Ballmaster.
Ooh, Master. Premiering Sunday, April 8th at midnight.
You gotta give the people what they want. People want balls. Ow!
We would also see a new stop-motion anthology series from the creator of Xavier Renegade Angel. The Shivering Truth would combine creepy and often horrifying stories with incredible stop-motion animation to create something spectacular for the network. Unfortunately, while the series did get 2 seasons, they were short seasons, only accounting for a total of 12 total episodes.
What did you do to me? I didn't do anything. I don't think I did.
911, what's your emergency?
Did I do something to you? Oh God, what did I do?
So what do you plan to do with all them fingers anyway?
Please don't make me do this to me.
Some people are born victims. When I ponder the infinite expanse of the universe, I realize just how insignificant we humans truly are.
Premiere Sunday, December 9th at midnight. Shivering is stranger than fiction. On Adult Swim.
Cancelled TV show Final Space would also get a second life on Adult Swim. It would also have the most forgettable and short-lived live-action shows to date, like The Call of War, mostly for millennials, and Tropical Cocktails. But there was one live-action show that premiered this year that would make a big impact.
Let's go ahead and welcome to the show. He sounds intense, ladies and gentlemen. Zero Fucks Boyd. Let's welcome Zero Fucks Boyd. Oh, this guy looks like a wild man. Zero Fucks
People call me Zero Fucks Boyd. And you know what? I don't give zero fucks.
Joe Pera was a stand-up comedian still trying to find his thing. In his very early career, he would appear on The Chris Gethard Show and a Comedy Central show called New Timers as a bit player. But he would get the chance to showcase himself on Adult Swim with a brand new show that focused on a sort of new character for Joe Pera, himself.
Hi, Gene.
Hey, Joe. Let me guess. Seems like you're in a biscuit and gravy mood.
I appreciate that, but gravy makes me sleepy, and I have to go to the bank this afternoon. Hi, guys. Hi, Joe.
Joe Pera Talks With You stars Pera as a fictionalized version of himself, a choir teacher who lives a seemingly mundane life, each episode focusing on a different topic of some kind. What made this show great is that there's no rug pull like many other Adult Swim projects. There's no irony, no cynicism, no pullback to reveal that this is some horrifying scenario of some kind. This is just a wholesome story about a man trying to find the positive part in life. Something we needed then, and something we need now more than ever.
You don't have to be a music teacher to have your breath taken away. There's a lot of nice stuff that can do that. Like a really good lightning. Great water pressure. When you almost die, but then you survive. The flavor of a pineapple.
Adult Swim proper would also get on the April Fool's Day fun with a Rick and Morty parody short called Bush World Adventures. The short was created by Michael Cusack, a known internet cartoonist. The short would air on repeat through the night. It would be the start of a partnership between Cusack and the network.
I was asleep. I was having a little Morty sleep.
Morty, get in the damn car now! Get in here!
Oh, why?
Get in the fucking car, Morty! He's not coming with you! Leave him alone!
I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police.
He's sick of it! He's sick of the adventures! Get in the fucking car, Morty!
You leave my brother alone.
Get out of here! You leave him alone! Morty! Get in the car!
Okay, kids, you know what time it is.
In 2019, get ready to party with...
2019 would bring a good amount of variety in regards to new shows, starting with the supernatural comedy Victor and Valentino. A show about two half-brothers who discover strange supernatural goings-on while visiting their grandma, who also just so happens to be supernatural. The show took a lot of inspiration from Aztec, Olmec, and Mayan mythology, and the creator of the show, Diego Molano, who also voiced one of the leads, was excited to make the show as a way to put more of a spotlight on these cultures and stories. Next would be the unique adventure show, Mau Mau Heroes of Pure Heart. When partner heroes Mau Mau and Bearclops get stuck in the cute and cuddly town of Pure Heart Valley, they decide to make the most of it and set up shop to protect it from sky pirates and other threats. While there, they also meet a young bat named Adorabat, who joins up with the two as a sort of apprentice hero.
Like fun. I wish something fun would happen today! I'm molting! It button!
It's so cute!
Like many other shows at the time, the creator of the show, Parker Simmons, also voiced the main character, Mau Mau. While the show was supposedly renewed for a second season, even getting a video made to announce as such, nothing ever came of it, and the series was presumably cancelled. Cartoon Network would switch gears to a more story-focused show in the form of Infinity Train.
Did I just hallucinate a train station?
Created by Owen Dennis, who had previously worked as a writer on regular show, Infinity Train started as a story of Tulip, a girl struggling with the stress of her parents' divorce, who finds herself on the mysterious Infinity Train. Now trapped and branded with a number, she has to make her way through the different cars of the train, which all have some sort of gimmick or theme to them. Along the way, Tulip meets different traveling companions, like One-One, a split-personality robot, and Atticus, a talking corgi king played by Ernie Hudson, who joins Tulip on her journey through the trains. Soon, more and more mysteries open up about the purpose of the train and who's behind it, and Tulip must fight to escape her fate.
Infinity Train, a 5-night special event, starts Monday, August 5th at 7:30.
Afterwards, Infinity Train would receive 3 more seasons, or books as they would be called, that would follow new characters on the train, although the last 2 books were streamed exclusively on HBO Max. While there were clearly plans for more, having the story and mystery still unresolved, the show was not picked up after its 4th season, and the future of the story unknown. Finally, 2019 would be a big year for Steven Universe fans, starting with the release of Steven Universe, the movie.
Advancing the Empire and saving all your planets? I can't wait to get home and spend some quality time with my friends. I want everything to stay exactly like this and never change.
Agreed.
Just this morning, everything was perfect. Why did everything have to change? I want my happily ever after back.
Set after the finale of the series, the movie sees Steven, who has grown a bit, working together with the Gems and the Diamonds to improve relations between themselves and the residents of Beach City, as well as the Earth in general. But the piece is interrupted with an unknown figure from Steven's past come back for revenge. While songs were not a new thing for the series, this movie would be a full-on musical with an ending that seemed to be the perfect wrap-up to the series. But it would turn out that there was one last story to tell later in the year.
It's the true kind of love. It's the true. It's the true. It's the true kind of love.
Steven Universe the movie, September 2nd.
We are in the future. Here we are in the future, and it's bright. I can't believe we've come so far. Future, here we are.
Steven Universe Future would serve as a sequel/epilogue for the series as a whole. Taking place just after the events of the movie, Steven continues his work of maintaining peace, but soon has to contend with his own trauma and mental issues that have built up over the course of the show. Future was able to give a definitive ending to the story of Steven Universe, a rarity for shows at the time, while still leaving it open for more adventures to be told in the future. After a bit of a hiatus, WB would bring back shows to Cartoon Network's schedule, starting with the DC Superhero Girls. DC Superhero Girls started as an initiative from DC back in 2016 to make a DC franchise more focused on young girls. This started as a series of web shorts, toys, and direct-to-video films. Eventually, it would move to a full-blown series on Cartoon Network, which focused on Zatanna, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Bumblebee, and Batgirl, as they juggled their superhero lives and regular school life in Metropolis High School. We would also get a new Scooby-Doo series called Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. Inspired by the new Scooby-Doo movies, which would each have some sort of guest star appear in every episode, this series would continue the tradition of including a celeb guest star in every show. Stars like Alex Trebek, Sia, Weird Al, Sandy Duncan, Urkel, and much more.
Oh, feel these pipes. Ow! Ooh, ow!
We won't be intimidated by criminal threats.
Every Saturday night at 11, Adult Swim is building you a better cartoon show.
We call it Tsunami.
The mightiest warriors are going to destroy you!
Making a threat like that is a good way to end up dead.
What the hell did he just do?
You see, it's far more than a mere threat.
Everyone be on your guard! We've got a fight on our hands! You're mine! Go to hell!
Now it saw you glorified nightlight!
Your friends are a lot more powerful than I expected.
I'll beat you into oblivion if that's what it takes! You're up, I'll cover! I got this!
We're gonna fight with everything we've got!
This battle is only beginning!
Tsunami, every Saturday night from 11 to 4 a.m.
You're seriously gonna end up dead if you keep fighting!
Dying doesn't bother me. Not when I'm having this much fun.
On Adult Swim.
Tsunami in 2019 was another big year full of new shows. This would include Sword Art Online, Alicization, The Promised Neverland, Lupin the Third Part 5, Food Wars, Mobile Suit Gundam Origin, Fire Force, Dr. Stone, the rising viral hit Demon Slayer, and the final season of JoJo to air on the block, Golden Wind.
His name was Dio Brando. I had to know whether Giorno Giovanna was Dio's son.
Hand over your wallet.
And if he was, don't say I didn't try to warn you. How much he took after his father. Despite his calm demeanor,
Take him down before he gets away!
he has a savage side, which makes him dangerous.
I strongly suggest you abandon following me.
Salvation awaits! Prepare, as before you lie two paths!
Do you think he's a true enemy?
Intercept him, Golden Wind!
Could he be an ally? I still don't know why I've been granted these powers. What? But I think it would be a waste not to use them.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind, premieres next Saturday at 2:30.
Now say goodbye to your senses.
Only Tsunami on Adult Swim.
Tsunami would also have another tie-in event this year, called The Forge. This time around, Tom and his crew would be abducted by a station called The Forge. It turned out, not only was their new ship a long-lost warship, but Tom was part of a long line of servant robots. Tom fights his way through the Forge to save his fellow Toms, but loses his life in the process.
Sarah, you've always meant everything.
Forge protocols have been compromised.
Luckily, Sarah is ready to transfer him to a brand new body, and so Tom 6 was born. who is the current iteration of Tom as of the time of this writing.
Tom, are you in that shell? Say something so I know it's you.
Something?
It worked! And you said backing yourself up was a waste of time.
With his new body, Tom rescues the Tom Juniors and sends them away on the ship, saving them from their former captors. But this means that he and Sarah are now stranded on the Forge, which they now use as their new home base for Tsunami.
You know what to do, Sarah.
That I do, Tom. That I do.
Later.
"2019 was a bit of a hit or miss year for Adult Swim. New show-wise, it would start out with an annual April Fool's prank, being the premiere and full series airing of anime parody Jimutsu Machu Picchu. We would also see the premiere of Laser Wolf and Mr. Pickle's sequel/spinoff Mama Named Me Sheriff, as well as the absurd medieval fantasy parody Tigtone.
The world is at stake!
The world is at stake?
Soon you will know his name!
You are in for some trouble, Tigtone. Good! Tigtone is my middle name.
For he is
Tigtone!
The quest begins tonight at midnight on Adult Swim.
But the last Adult Swim show of the year would prove to be its biggest hit. With the smash success of Samurai Jack's revival, Adult Swim gave Genndy Tartakovsky more freedom to do what he wanted, and what came from that was Primal. Focusing on Spear and Fang, a caveman and a T-Rex brought together by the shared tragedy of losing their families in separate yet related incidents, the two traveled the unforgiving prehistoric world together, trying to survive this new world and partnership. The show had an incredible mix of animation and the ability to tell a story with little to no audible dialogue, and while the first 2 seasons focused on the story of Spear and Fang, it has been confirmed by Tartakovsky that Season 3 onward will work as an anthology series and focus on new characters each time.
Well, Apple, a brand new decade is on the horizon.
Onion, do you think they're going to do that Brilliant 2020 song?
I do enjoy that one. Let's hope so.
Oh, I think I hear it starting. Wicked!
A new decade was dawning as Cartoon Network ran in 2020. It was approaching 3 decades since its creation, and it was a very different network than how it started. And these changes were also brought about by sources outside the channel itself. 2020 would see the launch of HBO Max, which would later be renamed to just Max shortly after. The streaming service would advertise itself to Cartoon Network fans as a one-stop shop to stream classic Cartoon Network shows, including cartoons. And while the network did include many of these shows, they were mostly the ones that you would expect, and sometimes not even in their full form. Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Ed, Edd n Eddy, minus the movie and the specials, and Billy and Mandy, again, minus the movie and the specials. While many lesser-known shows like Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, and Sheep in the Big City were left off, leaving them still as hard-to-watch shows. The service would also be used to premiere some new shows from Cartoon Network Studios that would stream on Max exclusively for a time, like Close Enough, a sort of spiritual successor to regular show from J.G. Quintel himself. As mentioned previously, it would also be the new home for new seasons of Infinity Train before it was cancelled, as well as the Adventure Time follow-ups Distant Lands and Fiona and Cake, as well as 2 other shows that would premiere on Max, but eventually come to Cartoon Network later on. However, because of this prioritization for this new streaming service, this would mean no new Cartoon Network original shows would premiere in 2020. The only thing that would come out was the controversial Thundercats Roar from WB, a comedy spin-off of the original Thundercats series that took clear inspiration from Teen Titans Go. The show would be quickly cancelled and forgotten after a crossover special with Go itself.
Every Saturday night at midnight, Adult Swim is building you a better cartoon show. We call it Tsunami.
We won't be intimidated by criminal threats.
My God, so there's no safe place.
All of you get back and stay back.
Incoming! Be on your guard!
Use those fast feet of yours to run away.
I don't feel like I can win. Or like I can't.
I'm gonna need you to kill this thing for the sake of mankind.
The truth is, I'm simply too strong for you.
You can't win, so give up.
Go for the kill!
Is there any reason I would let myself lose this fight? No way!
Now it's my time to push you.
All units attack! We have the advantage of numbers!
Tsunami, every Saturday night from midnight to 3:30
A thrill like this, how can I not jump in?
on Adult Swim.
2020 was also a period of slowdown for Tsunami, only having 3 new shows airing to start the decade. Sword Art Online, War of the Underworld, a sequel to the previous Sword Art Online series aired on the network, Paranoia Agent, an anime that previously aired on Adult Swim, now making its Tsunami premiere, and lastly would be Assassination Classroom.
A world where he's allowed to live is a world waiting to be destroyed.
Flying super cephalopod bent on world destruction? Check. Impossible target? Check. But he might be the best damn teacher any of us has ever had.
Adult Swim would start a little slow as well, but with that same experimental flair, starting with the new series from J.J. Villard, J.J. Villard's Fairy Tales. Each episode would be a twisted tale of a known fairy tale, full of gross-out imagery and violence.
I hate my mother too. What do you say I join your little group? No offense.
J.J. Villard's Fairy Tales, next Sunday at 12:15.
We would also see the premiere of YOLO.
In the land down under, 2 women set out on a mystical quest. To get trashed.
Wanna go to a party tonight?
Oh my God, totally!
From creator Michael Cusack, an internet cartoonist who had already shown his work on the network with the Bushworld Rick and Morty parody, YOLO was a project Michael had been working on previously and pitched to Adult Swim. The story of 2 best friends, Sarah and Rachel, who spend their days partying and looking for more parties. In their quest for good times, they come across a lot of crazy situations and characters. Each season of the show would have a different subtitle, and have a sort of contained storyline. At the time of this writing, it is soon to premiere its 3rd season.
You look so hot. On Adult Swim. Thanks.
For live action, Adult Swim would see the premiere of Beef House and 3 Busy Debbies.
Get ready for the new episodes challenge on Cartoon Network.
Bring it on.
2021 would still be a bit shaky for Cartoon Network programming-wise. While we were still seeing some more variety in shows on the schedule, it was clear that more priority was being given to the still new HBO Max streaming service. And seeing Cartoon Network as a whole was just a way to promote that service and the wider WB brand. 2 shows that previously debuted on Max would make their network debut on the channel, that being Tig and Seek and The Fungies. 2 shows that, while did fairly respectable runs of 3 and 4 seasons, both shows have not only been cancelled, but have been pulled from Max in the recent purges, although they can still be purchased on digital platforms. 2021 would also be the year that Cartoon Network would attempt to get back into the preschool sector with a long-running brand.
Hello, it's time for Cartoonito.
Hello! Bonjour! Hello! Bonjour! Hello! Bonjour!
Cartoonito was a block that had been running in Britain since 2006 on Cartoon Network 2. It would be jumbled around for the next few years, getting its own 24/7 station, being aired as a block on a UK Boomerang, and so on. In 2021, it was finally launched as a rebranded block for US Cartoon Network. The block would be more focused on preschool shows and acquired shows like the reboot of the Thomas the Tank Engine franchise, Thomas and Friends, and would air longtime Cartoon Network mainstay, Baby Looney Tunes. When the block first premiered, it had a runtime of about 4 hours in total on weekdays. However, it would quickly be reduced to only 90 minutes due to it being destroyed in the ratings by Nick Jr. and Disney Jr. programming blocks, which were already well-established fixtures that Cartoonito could not compete with.
Coming this fall to Cartoon Network and at HBO Max. Some shows only on Cartoon Network or only on HBO Max. Check for availability.
Tsunami would continue 2021 on The Forge with a new slate of shows, including the continuation of original William Street co-produced anime. For acquired shows, we would see SSS Gridman, an anime reboot of the classic tokusatsu show Gridman the Hyper Agent.
So when an old computer tells him to fight,
Utah, there is danger closing in on this world.
he fights.
This collection has to be stopped!
From Studio Trigger, Tsunami is proud to present SSSS Gridman, premiering January 16th at 2:30. Only Tsunami on Adult Swim.
We would also see the return of long-running Adult Swim mainstay Inuyasha in the form of sequel series Yasahime, Princess Half-Demon.
Reunited, the Half-Demon twins, along with Inuyasha's daughter Miroha, have all taken up the family business.
If it's just you, then it's fine. But if you're gonna screw up and get yourself killed, try not to drag us down with you.
In regards to original anime, 2 series would premiere this year. The first from legendary production studio Production IG would be Fena, Pirate Princess.
And I revisited that one day. I've tried to forget.
Listen to me, Fena! This is important!
It was of the very last word my father said to me.
Go to Eden!
Eden. His journey's over. He'll never get to complete it. But I'm here. In his name. I swear. I will pick up where he left off.
Next would be Blade Runner Black Lotus, a series set in the same universe as its namesake. The series was made to capitalize on the new Blade Runner movie, Blade Runner 2049, which in fact would air in an edited capacity on Tsunami this same year, as well as the original animated short named Blade Runner Blackout 2022.
I can't do that.
There are ways you have to do things if you want them to happen.
Need to borrow this.
Freeze!
While 2021 would not have any kind of tie-in events for Tsunami, we would get an original non-canon event, Cosmos Samurai. 2D animated and presented with Japanese audio, Cosmos Samurai saw Tom being attacked by an unknown threat, being separated from Sarah and ultimately killed. Luckily, his head was recovered and rebuilt by a group of Cosmos Samurai. Tom would also get a new battle-ready body and join this new group to take revenge on the group that attacked him. Adult Swim in 2021 would be a little slower as well, but it could be seen as more of a build-up for the years ahead. While there were only 2 shows of this year, they were fairly different, and yet tried to capture the Adult Swim spirit. The first being Bird Girl, a sort of spin-off / soft reboot of the Harvey Birdman Attorney-at-Law franchise. Bird Girl, as the name suggests, would focus on Bird Girl / Judy Ken Sebin, who had taken over her father's business, no longer a law firm, after Phil's sudden death. The show would take a departure from the original, no longer being about law and cases, and instead more focused on the superhero angle and the threat of a week some kind for each episode. And while it would still have references to the old show, it would also heavily cut out any references to any older Hanna-Barbera properties that the old show was known for. For example, replacing Mentok the Mind Taker was Meredith the Mind Taker, who makes no reference to if she's related to Mentok in any way.
You're at the circus, you're at the park, you're a sexy chicken, you're leaving $400 in my guitar case, you like the smell of library books, you say pho instead of pho,
While the show did technically get 2 seasons, each season was only about 6 episodes each, which could be argued was really only just one 12-episode season, which is usually the standard.
Sunday, April 4th at midnight. On Adult Swim. Not today, toilet. Not today.
We would also see the premiere of Teenage Euthanasia.
I'm not as crazy as I used to be. Some of my devils up and left me free to find a quiet space. I'm not as out of place. And I'm coming home again. It's been too long a time getting back what's mine. And I can't remember why I went away. But it's looking now like maybe I can stay. Is that any good?
Which saw a party girl named Trophy Fantasy abandon her newborn daughter to continue living her life, before killing herself and coming back through magical means to get a second chance at life, and being a mother to her daughter.
When do I get to hold the embalming fluid?
In your dreams. I'm in desperate need of a shirt and my mother's approval.
Best of luck with hand job. I would like to present into evidence.
Joey, actually, I'm DTF, down to food court.
Teenage Euthanasia. Series premieres with back-to-back episodes. Sunday, September 19th at midnight.
Oh, you smell like gasoline and popcorn. It's the spray tan.
Only on Adult Swim.
Adult Swim would also acquire the rights to continue canceled Netflix show Tuca and Birdie. The show's cancellation by Netflix led to a bit of a backlash, with fans feeling as though it didn't get a proper chance before being canceled. This would lead to Adult Swim saving the show, although they would not be able to air the first season. It would last for another 2 seasons on the network before being canceled again.
Sophisticated adult toucan woman right here.
Tuca's my best friend. We hang out constantly.
Birdie's the sweetest.
Are you in love with her or something?
It's way deeper than that. She's my best friend.
You wanna watch me open jars with my thighs?
Yeah!
No peeking.
Feels so naughty. I'm into it.
Like, really into it.
Adult Swim's April Fool's prank of the year would be a playoff of the recent Cartoonito launch, rebranding the block as Adult Swim Junior.
The world is a big place, so we made it just a little bit smaller. Introducing Adult Swim Junior, home to your favorite age-appropriate shows for growing minds and growing senses of humor. Well, you can count on Team Venture. That's why the geniuses at our network created a safe place just for kids. Because why waste those formative years not enjoying Adult Swim? Well, I guess so, but... Adult Swim Junior, from cradle to grave, from diaper to diaper.
Several episodes of well-known Adult Swim shows, like Aqua Teen and Rick and Morty, would be redubbed by kids, along with new bumpers showing other Adult Swim characters as babies.
Steve, I just got a weird email. Did you buy us airline tickets?
Oh, shoot, we're supposed to be a surprise.
I want to thank you for letting me live here for all this time. So I'm treating the family to a vacation.
Steve, you're so funny. Thanks, Uncle Steve. That's Uncle Ever.
Coming up next, it's the Looney Tunes Show.
2022 didn't have much for Cartoon Network, with the WB Discovery merger finalizing and shows and movies being written off and cancelled left and right, many aspects were just trying to keep their heads above water. We would see the premiere of the We Bare Bears spinoff, We Baby Bears.
We noticed you don't have any baby bears around. Perhaps we could do you a favor by letting us live here. Let's do some exploring, bros.
Like your friend's secret tunnel.
I bid you welcome to the old veggie village.
Oi, on street in here?
Nice one, Grizz. Took you 5 seconds to upset the locals.
But the only other new show that would come would be on Cartoonito, that being Mecha Builders, a show about Sesame Street characters driving mech builders, Bugs Bunny Builders, another show about building, this time with Looney Tunes characters, and Bat Wheels, a show focusing on sentient versions of the vehicles of the Bat family.
It's been more than a minute since we last saw Luffy and the crew.
The Straw Hats are back, and they're causing trouble again.
But just like fine rum, this show only gets better with age.
Whoa! The greatest pirate anime of all time is coming home.
Hands in the air, pirate!
One Piece returns with 2 episodes back-to-back, Saturday night at 1:30 a.m.
It sounds like we're celebrities or something.
Only Tsunami on Adult Swim.
Tsunami, on the other hand, would keep things going quite well with a new mix of original and acquired anime. In addition to the viral hit Made in Abyss,
so that's to be expected. For next week, I'll have you set up at the same site 100 meters down to continue your work. Don't let your guard down.
Made in Abyss. Premieres Saturday at 1:30.
I'm really gonna go all out on my excavating today!
Only Tsunami on Adult Swim.
And Part 6 of Lupin III,
One thief and the world's most famous detective go head-to-head.
Holmes, please calm down. I'll hunt him down. There he is. Lupin III.
If Lupin can't clear his name, he'll never get his paws on the Raven's treasure.
We've got a bit of a problem on our hands.
We would see original William Street co-produced anime Shenmue the Animation, an anime adaptation of the popular Dreamcast game.
I've got training this evening. Father!
Ryo, stay back.
For the last time, where is the mirror?
I will never say.
You bastard!
And Housing Complex C, a new horror anime that incorporated both a mystery plot and surprise Lovecraftian elements.
Until they showed up.
Oh my god.
Now, an ancient evil has awakened. And for Kimi and Yuri, the nightmare is just beginning.
This is much worse than I had imagined.
Stay away! This place, it gives me the creeps.
In addition, we would also see another part of the Cosmo Samurai story, with another mini-series event. However, Tsunami would also have a real tie-in event that would give fans more of what they were looking for out of the block. On a normal enough day on the Forge station, Tom and Sarah suddenly find a familiar-looking ship suddenly docking. They board to discover that it's actually the Absolution. The first Tsunami ship was destroyed years ago. It even comes with an old memory of the first Sarah. The two don't quite know how this happened, although it's implied that there's time travel shenanigans. But they decide to roll with it, and allow the ship to take them wherever it's going, continuing their work of broadcasting Tsunami in this new yet familiar setting.
I still love this job.
This was served as the latest rebrand of the block that would celebrate its history, and as of the time of this writing, is the most recent version of Tsunami. "2022 for Adult Swim may seem a little light on paper, but the latest to make its way to the block was sure to bring a smile to audiences' faces.
This is
is going to be great, Charlie. I love helping kids. I love kids, Charlie. I love kids.
Pim, I would really not be screaming that at the top of your lungs.
Back in 2020, Adult Swim aired a few pilots in the form of an April Fool's event. Along with YOLO, we would also see the first look at another Michael Cusack co-created show, Smiling Friends. Co-created by Zach Hadel, who many may know from the popular Let's Play channel Oni Plays, Smiling Friends would see Cusack and Hadel as Pim and Charlie, two friends who work for a company named Smiling Friends, who work as sort of contractors who try to make their clients smile by any means. The pilot was an incredible success and blew up the internet. It was no surprise that the shows would get a full series, the premiere of which was hyped for weeks, and on the day in question, Adult Swim would end up showing the entire first season of the show, one after the other, despite advertising it as a weekly release. This only served to heighten the show even more, and as of now, a second season is set to premiere sometime in 2024. The show was such a success that it was one of the few Adult Swim shows, or even Cartoon Network shows, to get a full home video release, an extremely rare occurrence. But there would be one last surprise from Adult Swim, one that would give fans a little hope, but also representing the unnerving feeling that many were feeling about the merger.
Learning with Bibby, learning is so fun. We like to spell and we love to hug. Learning with Bibby. What is that?
On October 30th, 2021, Adult Swim would post a proof-of-concept short on their YouTube channel called Come and Learn with Pibby. The short would start showing a cute preschool show about learning, but would quickly turn when an unknown corruption would start to take over the show. What followed would be an intriguing short showing the protagonist Pibby traveling to other cartoon universes to help in escaping and fighting this corruption, even including cameos from Cartoon Network stars like Fred Flintstone and Finn and Jake. While the short got a lot of play, and it was a bit of a meme for a bit, no word was ever heard about a full green light of a series. On April 1st, 2022, fans would tune in to see the latest Adult Swim prank. When they did, they would see the opening of the Pibby short, before it would cut to an episode of Rick and Morty.
It's a learning opportunity.
Steve, I just got a weird email. Did you buy us airline tickets?
Oh, shoot, it was supposed
What
to
would
be a
follow
surprise.
would be each show having some kind of glitch, takeover, or cameo from Pibby and Bun Bun. These glitches would even affect the episodes in weird and creepy ways.
You know, Rick, this isn't easy for us. You know, we all remember you as a...
Oh, really? Well, I remember you as a whiny little piece of shit, Morty.
This would also follow the slow corruption of Bun Bun, and even affect live action shows and promos.
Maybe we should let the darkness consume us. Bun Bun? What are you saying?
Climate change. When is Hannibal Buress gonna start thinking about some underwear change? Am I right, ladies?
Despite the prank and the subsequent fan support, the show still has not been greenlit, and it seems, due to a statement from the show's creator, Dodge Greenlee, it more than likely never will. The year was 2023.
Coming up next, it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Cartoon Network, while making progress, is still slow on the new shows. Tiny Toon Looniversity would debut, a reboot of Tiny Toon Adventures that would attempt to update the franchise for a new audience, with middling results. Craig of the Creek would also spin off on Cartoonito in the form of Jessica's Big Little World, a preschool series focusing on Craig's little sister Jessica, living and learning on her own adventures.
Years ago, we fired Tsunami back up as an April Fool's.
And what started off as a joke turned into a second chance.
It's all thanks to you.
Tsunami has the most faithful and hardcore fans out there.
Who else could have resurrected this block we all know and love?
So this April Fool's, we salute you.
And that's no joke.
Here's to another 25 years.
After the return event, Tsunami would slow down a bit, and the only new shows debuting this year would be 2 new seasons of Fooly Cooly, Grunge, and Showgaze. But the highlight of 2023 would be Adult Swim, starting with an expansion of the block in the form of a throwback.
Warning, this is checkered past. You may feel things you haven't experienced since you were a child, one of which is joy. Welcome to your relaxing journey back in time.
Adult Swim would be given more of the overall schedule, coming in the form of Checkered Past, a block of shows targeted to adults who remember the older days of Cartoon Network. The block would show classic cartoons such as Dexter's Lab, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Billy and Mandy, and Courage. Along with this, we would also be given new bumpers incorporating the characters from the shows in new settings. The block so far has been very popular, and has plans to introduce even more shows, like the lesser-played Cow and Chicken.
When life gets to be a little too much, it's best to just forget everything and watch cartoons. That's why we're here. And for the new year, we are bringing you some old friends.
Mr. Weasel!
Yes.
Aha! Gotcha!
Checkered Past, weekdays starting at 5, only on Adult Swim.
2023 would also be big for Adult Swim in the form of some great new shows making its way to the block, such as Royal Crackers, a story about a family trying to keep together a failing cracker empire.
They've got to keep it together before it all comes crumbling down.
Your father suffered a pretty bad spinal injury when you all thrashed him around like a rag doll.
Get his clothes off!
You ever done karaoke with the freaking rock star before?
This company is over!
Just give up, dude.
I'll give up after I punch you in the face, bird brain.
There's no easy way to say this, so I'll just get right to it. I wiped my ass with your will.
Shut up, you posers!
Get off of me, you little freak show!
Sorry I'm late.
I killed a guy last night.
Captain Cracker!
A new animated comedy from Adult Swim. Royal Crackers. Series premieres April 2nd at 11 on Adult Swim and the next day on HBO Max.
Steve, I gotta admit, that was one hell of a presentation.
We would also see a new action series from Genndy Tartakovsky, Unicorn Warriors Eternal. Taking Genndy almost 20 years to finally get made, Unicorn follows the group of heroes who are constantly reincarnated and reborn across eras to battle an eternal evil that threatens the world. This time, however, the reincarnation has gone wrong, and the warriors must work together to deal with the trouble while also making sure their eternal mission is not ended in tragedy.
I have brought him from the future. It will command your souls to return, but this reawakening may prove to be their last.
What did you do to me?
She has powers. She might be the evil we've been fighting against.
From the mind of Genndy Tartakovsky comes a new animated series, a lifetime in the making. Unicorn Warriors Eternal, premiering May 4th at midnight on Adult Swim.
The biggest surprise of the year would be the new DC show, My Adventures with Superman. Originally intended to air on the normal Cartoon Network block, it would be moved to Adult Swim to save the show, giving us a new take on Superman This would focus a bit more on the romance between Superman and Lois Lane, while still keeping a good bit of action. This would also give us a new version of Lois Lane that the internet would take a liking to.
What was that?
Superman! I'd like to interview you for the Daily Planet.
Sorry, no comment.
Lois, these are the new interns. I want you to show them the ropes and get...
They can help me with the story. If we break this, we'll become real reporters. This is the story of the century! Who is Superman?
Lois, I know what Superman is.
Huh?
You think he's a plane?
It kinda looks like a bird.
My Adventures with Superman. 2-episode series premiere. Thursday, July 6th at midnight on Adult Swim. Next day on Max.
Cartoon Network first premiered over 30 years ago, and at the moment, it shows no signs of stopping. It has had its ups and downs, and many would argue it's not what it used to be. But also cannot be denied that the network is iconic and has brought the world some of the most iconic figures in animation, even to this day. The future has a lot to offer the network in regards to new shows, seasons, and even movies. When I first started this series, I did it because I thought Cartoon Network was in a pretty sorry state, and I wanted to highlight what made it great and what led to its downfall. But as I've worked on it, I found that even in the dark times of endless reruns of certain shows, there's still something to love about the network. And while it's still not as diverse programming-wise, it is getting better. And they seem to be learning. I can't wait to see what the future holds for Cartoon Network, as well as Tsunami, and of course Adult Swim. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be back to record that history someday. But that's for next time, on the history of Cartoon Network.